Koopas are a very recurrent species in the Mario series, and they are basically yellow-skinned turtles who are anthropomorphic, and they're usually the main threat in the Mario games. But most of the time, but sometimes they can be allies at times. Like I guess in the spin-off games, like they're just friendly. They can be playable, you know. But if I was in Mario, I personally would not want to be stomping on these guys. I would instead keep them as pets. So today, we're going to talk about which Koopas make for best pet material, I guess, if that's the correct word. So starting off with the standard Koopa Troopas, they could be decent pets, even though they are anthropomorphic right now. They're bipedal. Back then, they used to be quadrupedal, like a regular turtle and stuff. But in Super Mario World, they kind of had like an evolution, I guess. They started walking on their legs. They wear shoes now. So, yeah, I do kind of miss the old Koopas back then when they were kind of just like regular turtles. But obviously, them being bipedal opens a lot of opportunities. Like for one, they can drive, and they can play parties, I guess, which is why they're playable characters in many of those games. And yeah, Koopas, they come in different colors, so you can pick whichever color you like, and I would probably just keep the regular blue one. If they get wings though, they might be kind of pesky because they can fly around and stuff. But if you feed your Koopa well, I'm sure he'll be a great pet. Meanwhile, there is the Spinies, which, yeah, I don't think I would want to keep this one as a pet, considering his whole gimmick is he has spikes on his shell, which, yeah, you can't really grab this guy anywhere. Like, I guess you just have to grab the rim of the shell, but yeah, you can't pet him because then you'll stab yourself. So, yeah, I don't think Spinies are very ideal. Same with their cousins, the Spike Tops, but they only have one single spike on them, but a spike is a spike. However, the Buzzy Beetle is like the best of both worlds, I guess. Like, he doesn't have any spikes on him. He's also quadrupedal, one of the few quadrupedal Koopas. And I guess they're kind of nocturnal, which is why they're in caves a lot of the time. Like, they usually lurk around in caves, so they must have pretty good night vision too. So Buzzy Beetles are probably the most efficient. However, these guys can climb on top of like your walls or your ceilings. So yeah, be wary of that. Other Koopas include Dry Bones, which is basically just Koopa Troopa but in a skeletal form. And I know a lot of people are a fan of this character, so yeah, I'm sure they would like to keep Dry Bones around as a pet or a friend. Hammer Bro, he's just a friend, right? Like, it's kind like, I don't think he would make for a great pet. And he could throw hammers around too, so make sure he doesn't break your valuable vases or something. And Lakitu is usually most of the time always on a cloud. So, I don't know, I guess he can help you get something up from the ceiling or something. Like, that's pretty helpful. And then there's like Charging Chucks, Sumo Bro, Mecha Koopa. There's all kinds of Koopas, but like, they probably wouldn't be great pets. I mean, Mecha Koopa is kind of cool though. Like, he's pretty cool. I would probably keep him. At the end of the day, I think the winner, in my opinion, is Buzzy Beetle. Like, yeah, Buzzy Beetles, they can be kind of cute, and they have various skill sets. I forgot to mention they also have fireproof shells. So yeah, it protects them. If you try to burn them, it's not gonna do anything because the shell protects them. So yeah, they have some form of protection. So I would keep a Buzzy Beetle if there was an opportunity to keep one. So yeah, my opinion stands. Buzzy Beetle is underrated anyway, so yeah, let me keep him.